Well, good evening, Glue Troopers. Max and Max's Models here, sporting my spiffy new haircut. And I didn't get into the Tarbis till late this afternoon, but I got to work on the Airbus and basically got it finished off. I did try the technique that some Glue Troopers have told me about using white glue to try and put down those decals that are raising up. And some of them did take. A couple of them, I just couldn't beat the curl out of them. And it really just kind of uglies it up a little bit, but oh well, that's model building. Aftermarket decals, she takes chances. I wish I could give a better recommendation to the pointer dog decals, but I don't think I did anything wrong with them. Maybe another clear coat ahead of time or something, but hell, it is what it is. But you know what? At 10 feet, it looks great. At 5 feet, it looks passable. Any closer than that, well, I'll just make sure it's on the back shelf. Some of the decals, like the one on the tail, I was actually able to get to sit back down using the white glue, and hopefully that'll take. And I wasn't going to get too into the stand. I did put A320 on the stand, which came off the decal sheet, and to that it laid down fine on the stand. But I just that's one of those generic stands that you can pose anything on, and I just put the little Velcro on it to hold it in place. Things are really tight center of gravity. It wants to fall on its nose or its tail. Once I was done with that, I got back to work on the Jeep. And then where we left the Jeep yesterday, I had put the first 3 parts together. Today I started working on Module 2. And this Tacoma Jeep, one thing I got to warn you about is every part is numbered. It's very well laid out, but you have to look on the actual runner tree itself for the part number. So that I didn't, and they're not real big. Not a big deal, just a little tidbit to help make it easier to find the part numbers. I started working on the sections, the bumpers and everything. And one of the things they do that I think is a great idea is everything you put together, you start off building the subsections. And of course, everything has a part number based on the runner tree that it's on. The numbers pretty much run in order, makes it easy to find parts. When you get these pieces together, they then become a subassembly that gets a letter name, and then you will see the subassembly letter name tell you where to put something. It works very well, and I was very impressed with everything about it. There were a few minor fit issues, very minor. I had to trim a little piece of plastic off the frame here, and some of the holes that were in the propeller shaft is what we'd call a drive shaft, but they call it a propeller shaft on a Jeep. And the drag link on the steering gear needed to be bored out to get the parts to drop in. So some of the holes that pieces go in were a little small, but other than that, that was about it. The instructions are pretty clear, really no problems. A lot of stuff is side specific, and you got to check your orientation. And that's something that caught me 1 or 2 little times, but not a big deal. The bumper mounts, the bumperettes, everything, it pretty much goes together like the real Jeep. You could pretty much build a Jeep from this one. So I got all the way through panel 3, and that's where I figured I'd better let stuff harden overnight. So we'll get back to it tomorrow. So far, it's a 5-star kit. And being 1/16 scale makes it a little easier to get to stuff. While I was letting things harden, I started this KP Models IL10. And what made me want to start this was Eric over at Celebrating Vintage Model Kits had just profiled that kit. And I thought, hey, I have that in the stash. Well, he showed a picture of one that had been captured by the Americans. It was captured over at Kempo. And it just so happens that's the very same one that they have on the box art. Not sure what made them decide to use that one, but they did. And I was thinking, I've got a great little idea for a little mini diorama or vignette. I'll put Korean decals on one side, American decals on the other, and paint a little American GI with a can of paint and a paintbrush like he's halfway through remarking it. That way you get a little variety. Well, when I pulled the thing out of the box, I thought, oh, this should be a pretty quick, straightforward build. No. The parts are warped, and the glue, the Tamiya glue, seems to be having a little trouble biting into and dissolving that ComBlock plastic, which they're known for using fairly low-grade plastic. So we'll see how it does when it gets overnight to harden. But started priming it and pre-painting a few things. And well, that's just something to play with while I'm taking breaks, letting everything harden on the Jeep. I promised I would not keep opening boxes. I don't really count this. I also grabbed the little L29 Delphin, which because those are the only 2 KP kits I think I had. And I figured that should be another quick, easy diversion while I'm doing other things. And to round out the evening, I've got some pictures here that were sent to me by Orange Tabby up in Kitchener, Canada. This is his work area where the magic happens. He submitted many a model to our viewers' builds. A great model builder and very generous. He sent me probably a good quarter of the stuff I have in the stash. And I want to say thanks again, Orange Tabby, for everything, and great work area. One last passing thought. There are some airplanes that there are no models of. And I was watching, I believe it was Ed Nash's Military Matters today, on a couple of biplanes that the British were using when World War II broke out. And it just dawned on me, I tend to think of the Royal Air Force in the early war as all Hurricanes and Spitfires. And we forget that they were using a lot of very outdated aircraft, including some biplanes. I mean, I think the first bombing raid on Berlin was Handley Page Hampton's. So salute to the Royal Air Force. They held out alone until the Japanese kicked us in the butt and got us into the war. Well, guys, you take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you later. And as always, model on.